What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be previewing the Collingwood preliminary final game. Let's get into it. Just before we do get straight into it, I want to say thank you for the huge amount of support this week. It's been a bit of a different Swoop Luke week. On Monday, we had a chat with Dan McStay. Tuesday, we had a chat with my great mate, Alex Presney. And then yesterday, we had a chat with Eddie Maguire, the man himself. And to all three of those interviews or chats or whatever you want to sort of call them, it has been a phenomenal response. And, you know, I just want to thank you. I might not be able to say thank you to every single person that sort of messaged me and commented and stuff. But, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say a big thank you. And, you know, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And, you know, without you guys, and I'm still pinching myself that I get to call Eddie Maguire and Nuffy on camera. And, you know, it's a little bit, it is sometimes I do cop a little bit of imposter syndrome within my own self, and that's something that I'm sort of dealing with. But, you know, you guys support me so much, and for nearly the 5 years that we've been doing this channel. So, thank you. I love you all. And let's get into this preliminary final. So, we're here. It is Thursday morning when I'm sort of posting this, and it's the preliminary final tomorrow, and we take on the Giants after they beat Port Adelaide. And look, this might be just a bit of a different preview to sort of what I usually do, and you know, I'm just going to let my sort of emotions flow and have a chat about this game, because it is absolutely huge, right? Like, I don't have to tell you guys that a preliminary final is a big final, or a big game just in general. But there's a lot of storylines going into this game, and I feel like that's been our sort of 2023. A lot of storylines in sort of every single game. But a little bit about this game is that Craig McRae turns 50 on Friday. It'll be his 50th game coached for the Pies as well. So that's two big reasons. Another big reason, obviously, is that a preliminary final, we win this, we go into the grand final. Nick Dacos comes back. Definitely he comes back. Has missed 6 or so weeks, and he's already ripping up the training track and looking like $1 million, which we love. You know, we, as Collingwood fans, you know, since 2000, we've averaged a prelim every 2 and something years. Which is awesome, but, you know, you need to start winning prelims at a certain point. And last year we go down to Sydney by 1 point, absolutely heartbreaking, because we know what happened the next week with Geelong smashing them. A couple of years ago, 2019, the Giants get a hold of us by 4 points, which is something else that is insane. You know, that's another thing that's absolutely crazy. Like, we're coming up against the Giants again in the prelim after what they sort of did to us in 2019. 2018, we know what sort of happened in that prelim. But this game just feels different. This Collingwood team feels different. Everybody is talking about, oh, Collingwood is scared of what happened with the 2019 and they're going to have a repeat and stuff like that. We were a very different side then to when we are now. Obviously, you know, Nathan Buckley was the coach of 2019, had a whole different setup. What Craig McRae has been able to build, and, you know, we had a very convincing-ish win against Melbourne. They did score a couple of junk time goals in that last quarter. They nearly got them back, but for the most part, you know, we piled it on in that first and second quarter, and we did what we needed to do. We earned the right to play in a preliminary final. Now we come up against the Giants, who, for the last, since round 9, since we played them in round 9, they've gone 12-4. For the last 2 months, they've been averaging 100 points or 101 points or something like that. And they've been playing good football. They knock off St Kilda in an elimination. They knock off Port Adelaide, sending them home in straight sets. And now they come up against the mighty Collingwood team. And it's not even that they're coming up against Collingwood. You know, they're not coming up against the best 23 players of the year. They're coming up against the Magpie Army. And Craig McRae and Pendles and Eddie Maguire, everyone talks about how, we're the 19th man, and we really, really are, the 24th man, whatever you want to sort of call it. The way the crowd gets this team up is something that I've never seen in the 30-something years that I've been supporting the Pies. It was evident when Jack Ginnivan came on in that last quarter. He's our sort of spark provider in that game where we just absolutely all lifted and the team lifts and there's 90,000 people screaming, the Collingwood or the Collingwood chant and stuff like that. And, when we go up against the Giants, it is going to be a sea of black. There's the orange tsunami, but it's definitely going to be a sea of black and white. And we need to help this team get over the line. And, kind of going back to what I said before, people talk about how in 2019 we lost the prelim, how last year we lost it by a point. But they failed to mention that, 2010, we smashed Geelong in a prelim. 2011, we beat Hawthorn in a prelim. 2018, we smashed Richmond in a prelim. Who's to say that we can't smash the Giants in a prelim? At the start of the week, I was feeling pretty nervous going into this game. Like, oh my God, what if we lose? We've been the best team. What if we lose? But the more I get to this game, yes, I'm nervous, right? But the more I get into this game, I'm going, why not? Why not us? We should be enjoying our time leading into the game every single day. Go to, I went to open training on Wednesday. I went to open training on Friday for the first time in years. And I'm just soaking it all in. And as Collingwood supporters, yes, we're going to be nervous, but we should be confident in this team. We should trust the process. We know what Craig McRae and the coaches, Lepish, Bolton, Skipper, we know what they're capable of. Selwood as well. This team can turn it on in a dime, and that's what we love about them. Nick Dacos, the Rolls Royce, the Ferrari, the Porsche, he comes back. Yes, he's missed 6 weeks of football, but this guy isn't going to let that phase him. He might start at the half forward. He might go down back. He might go into the middle. We lose Taylor Adams, which sucks. But Tom Mitchell, that's why we brought him in, We lost Taylor Adams last year, and look how far we got. We lose Taylor Adams this year. Tom Mitchell can play that role. Jack Crisp can help play that role. Josh Dacos can go down half back. We are a different team to the 2019 prelim team. We are a different team to the 2022 prelim team. I'm not saying that we deserve to win this game and we deserve to win the premiership if we get there. We have earned the right. We've been the best team for 24 seasons, the longest season in footballing history. We were the best team. We finished on top, a game clear, because that's who we are. Why can't we go into this game confident, knowing and thinking that we can win? If we start thinking that we can win, let's take it. Let's take it all the way and see how far it goes. Yes, we take it a day at a time. Let's get into this orange tsunami or whatever they want to call themselves first. Let's absolutely go in there on Friday and just blitz them like I know that we can. And we already have shown that we can this season. Giants, though, a very, very good football team at the moment. Carlton and Giants were 14th and 15th, and look where they are now in prelims, right? Lockie Whitfield, great halfback. He's going to try and nullify a couple of our forwards. Toby Green, we know what he can do. They're sort of captain in shining armour. Bedford and Brett Daniels, two underrated players who get their forward line going, and they can score, goals as well. Lockie Keefe might go and play a defensive role on Darcy Moore, I would say. They don't want Darcy Moore sort of intercepting. But then on the flip side, we've got a magnificent team as well. Bobby Hill, an ex-GWS player, scored 3 goals against Melbourne, scored the first 2 against Melbourne. We know what he can do. Jack Ginnivan, when he's there, he can turn it on. Mason Cox is a proven finals hero. Josh Dacos and Nick Dacos. Scott Pendlebury. Our list runs deep. Yes, the Giants list runs deep as well, but we've been there. 97,000 at the G on Friday night. We've done that, 6-7 times already this season. The more I record this video, the more confident I'm getting, and I hope that's sort of coming off. And you're sort of feeling that as well, because yes, the Giants are the informed team, and we've only played 2 games in a month's worth of football. But you know what's good about that? We get the rest in. We get another week into Nick another week of tired sort of bodies and healing bodies. We've got a bunch of old players, so they need that extra week off, and they're going to come out fit and firing. You know, Briggs, their ruckman, has got a bit of an injury, and I can guarantee you most of them are carrying sort of injuries into this game. So the week off is really going to help us. They're coming off a 5-day or 6-day break, and we're not. So there's a lot of things going right for us as well, which the media sort of fails to mention. There's 1,000 articles about why GWS can beat us. I haven't really seen a lot about why Collingwood can beat, you know, the Giants. So I believe we've got a really, really good chance to do it. And I believe that we absolutely come out and we smash the Giants in this game. People say that the Giants are Collingwood-like in how they play. They score really well off turnovers. They create a lot of turnovers. You know, I said that they were averaging 101 points per contest in the last bloody 2 months or so. And, you know, they're really good at intercept possession. So they're kind of like a baby Collingwood, if you will. So we are definitely going to get our work cut out for us. I don't think we're going to come out and smash them by 60 points, even though I would like to. We're definitely going to have our work cut out for us if we are to win. But we are in sort of the premiership calculations for like intercepts, defensive efforts, and on all this, you know, offensive and turn, all this sort of stuff. We're doing really well. I think we're in the green for most of them. So we know how to do all of this. It's just that if we can put it together and go out on Friday night and smash the Giants to smithereens and sort of, and where it's going to start, it's going to start in the first quarter. We're going to hit these guys hard, and they're going to come for Nick, and there's going to be fights, and Maynard's going to get into Toby Green. We know how it's going to play out, right? We know that they are going to come out with such a ferocity against us, probably something that we haven't seen in a while, something that the Demons definitely didn't do. They're going to come out with such a ferocity and ferociousness that they're going to try and put us off our game. We need to be loud and we need to be proud. We're Magpie supporters, right? We got to do this because they might put 2-3 goals on the board before we put one on. That's fine. We've been in their sort of positions before. You know, against Melbourne, we put a bunch of goals before they did. That's what I want to see. That's the Collingwood that I want to see, and that's the Collingwood that I think we're going to get. Now, my big call, my predictions. I think Ginnivan's going to be the sub, but I also think that he's going to kick 2 or 3 goals. He might come on in the third quarter and kick 2 or 3 goals and snag a bunch. My big call is that Collingwood are going to win by 24 points, making their way into a grand final. Now, you know, we're allowed to, the beauty about following a sports team, the beauty about being a fan is that we might say a week at a time, but we're allowed to dream. We're allowed to dream of beating the Giants, going into a grand final up against, you know, Brisbane or Carlton, and beating them and taking home the 16th flag. We're allowed to already think about that because what we think doesn't have, it's like what Pete Haley said, what we think doesn't have any effect on how the boys play, right? Omens and you know, Mozzes and stuff like that. What I'm saying now doesn't affect how the boys play. I want that 16th flag, and I think we've earned it this year. It all starts on Friday night against the Giants when we absolutely come out and absolutely smash them. But we'll see. Leave your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, love you, shakers. I'll see you later.